The sun cast its golden glow over the small village of Chandanpur, where lush green fields stretched beyond the horizon. Arjun, a young man in his mid-twenties, sat on the steps of his family's modest hut, his head buried in his hands. Once filled with dreams of building a better future, he now felt like a failure. Every attempt at business had crumbled, and the weight of disappointment from his family and neighbors pressed heavily on him. His father had always told him to stick to farming, but Arjun had dreamed of something bigger. Now he was left with nothing but regret. As he sighed heavily, an old but wise voice broke the silence. Lost in thought again, Arjun? It was Baba Raghav, the village's elder and a former farmer, who had seen many seasons of struggle and success. With his wooden staff in one hand and a gentle smile on his face, he approached and sat beside Arjun on the steps. "Come, walk with me," he said, gesturing towards the fields. Though reluctant, Arjun followed, feeling a strange sense of comfort in the old man's presence. They walked past golden wheat fields swaying in the afternoon breeze. "You see this land?" Baba Raghav said, tapping the soil with his staff. "For years I tilled this earth, sowing seeds and praying for a good harvest. But do you know how many times the crops failed?" Arjun looked up, surprised. "Failed?" he echoed. The elder nodded. "Droughts, floods, pests, many seasons tested me. I nearly gave up. But do you know what kept me going?" Arjun shook his head. Baba Raghav picked up a handful of soil, letting it slip through his fingers. "This earth teaches patience. It teaches resilience. A farmer does not quit when his crop fails. He learns. He adapts. He tries again." Arjun frowned, kicking a small rock on the dirt path. "But I am not a farmer, Baba. I tried something new and I failed. Maybe I am not meant for success." The old man chuckled. "Come with me." He led Arjun to a grove of tall bamboo trees near the river. "Do you know how bamboo grows?" Arjun shrugged. "For the first few years, nothing happens. You water it, you tend to it, but there's no sign of growth. Then suddenly, in the fifth year, it shoots up, growing several feet in just weeks." Arjun's eyes widened. "Why?" he asked. Baba Raghav smiled. "Because all those years it was growing underground, strengthening its roots, just like you." Arjun leaned against a tree, absorbing the elder's words. "So you're saying my failures are like the unseen roots of the bamboo?" Baba Raghav nodded. "Exactly. Just because you don't see success immediately doesn't mean you are not growing. The most important growth happens when no one is watching." As they walked back toward the village, dark clouds loomed in the sky, and the first drops of rain began to fall. "You see," Baba Raghav continued, "storms come and go, but the strongest trees are the ones that survive the wind. What makes them strong? Their deep roots." He placed a reassuring hand on Arjun's shoulder. "Failure is just a storm, my boy. It will pass, but you must stand firm." That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the bamboo, the storms, and his own failures. Maybe Baba Raghav was right. Maybe he had been too impatient. He decided that instead of giving up, he would try again this time with a new perspective. Days turned into weeks, and Arjun threw himself back into work. But this time, he was prepared for setbacks. When challenges arose, he didn't see them as failures, but as lessons. Instead of rushing, he took his time, learning, adapting, and growing. Slowly, he started to see progress. Months later, Arjun's small business began to flourish. He had taken the lessons of the farmers and applied them to his work: patience, resilience, and steady growth. His neighbors, who had once doubted him, now looked at him with admiration. Even his father, once skeptical, smiled with pride. One evening, as Arjun sat by the fields, he saw a young boy sitting on the same steps where he once sat, looking defeated. He walked over and sat beside him. "Lost in thought?" he asked with a knowing smile. The boy nodded. Arjun placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Come, walk with me." Arjun led the boy through the fields, just as Baba Raghav had done for him. He shared the story of the bamboo, the storms, and the unseen roots. The boy listened intently, just as he once had. And in that moment, Arjun realized true success is not just about personal achievement, it's about passing wisdom forward. As the sun set over Chandanpur, Arjun looked up at the sky, feeling grateful. His journey was not just about overcoming failure, it was about learning, growing, and helping others do the same. And as he watched the young boy walk away with newfound determination, he smiled, knowing that the cycle of wisdom would continue for generations to come. Life is not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it as part of the journey. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, every failure a lesson in resilience. Like the bamboo, true True strength is built in the unseen moments of struggle. The next time you feel like giving up, remember, you are just growing your roots. Keep going, and one day you'll rise higher than you ever imagined.